Welcome in to this episode of Raise High at GW, filling in or trying to for Jimmy Patsos. I'm Kevin Burke with head men's basketball coach Chris Caputo. How you doing?
Big shoes to fill.
A lot of big shoes to fill. You're looking a little tanner after the Bahamas. How was the trip for the team?
I went outside once in the 6 days, so yeah. I got a little color. Although I learned in Miami you really got to spray a lot of SPF on.
Yeah,
so,
got to get some of it. Let's talk about your team on the court. You got 2 wins in the Bahamas, 3 really competitive games. What did you learn about your team?
Yeah, I thought we had a really challenging game in Game 1 against Ohio U. And what I told the team is, it was great to play a program that had not only been in the NCAA tournament in recent history here a couple of years ago, but had won a game. So I thought a very difficult game the first night, 7 o'clock, and we were able to get that one, but it took 50 minutes. So, you try to protect the guy's legs in a trip like that where you're 3 games in 3 days and things like that. But quite honestly, UIC's playing very well. And we just didn't come out with enough juice. I thought we were tired. It's just the reality of it. And so we tried to actually play a lot of guys in that game early to try to get more rest. But they jumped us. They made a lot of tough shots. Looking back, watched the film a couple times now, and just their ability they knocked down a couple pretty contested shots early to give them a cushion of 15 points, in the first 7 minutes. And then after that, we kind of settled in, played very well, and cut it to 4 points at one point. So, all was not lost that day. I thought we gained some knowledge about things we need to clean up. And then 3 games in 3 days, which is rare other than a conference tournament, but we're able to figure out a way to storm back in the second half and beat Delaware. I don't think I remember ever shooting 77% in a half, but we did that. And so I guess that was a pretty good offensive performance there.
Yeah, it certainly helps when you don't miss. It helps you bring the comeback. But you talked about going into the trip. It's like we're going to know a lot more about our team afterwards. And first time for a lot of these guys not playing in front of the Smith Center. It was definitely a unique environment. What did you see from them in terms of resilience? You talk about being down 15 in 2 of the 3 games and even down against Ohio. Their ability to bounce back. Yeah,
I think that's been pretty it's kind of been a hallmark of what we've been in the 2 years here. I don't think there's a game that we didn't kind of keep playing where we were down, and obviously been able to storm back and now be 5-0 over 2 years in overtime, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. But I thought guys are learning a lot, about each other, about themselves, about playing in different environments, and so this is what you want early in the year, is to challenge yourself and learn. So I think we're getting there.
And people are learning about Darren Buchanan because in the first game he goes out and basically wills you to that win, keeps you alive in the second half, and then wins Rookie of the Week here this past week. GW's got a stranglehold on that award so far.
Yeah, he was. I think he's a guy that really understands his game and what he can be and what he's really good at, and he's got a tremendous amount of energy and confidence. We're down at Delaware, and he kind of gave me a look that it was a nonverbal look, like, hey, I'm going to play really good here in the second half. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. I like the look of that. So really happy for him. Unique player. I think a fun guy to watch if you're a basketball fan. His ability to put the ball on the ground at his size and drive the ball. We use him a lot of times just to break the press even. So I really am happy with our freshman group. Obviously Garrett's won Rookie of the Week twice. Now Darren's won it a third time in the third week. And Trey and Jacoya, they're actually amongst the leading minute getters of any of the freshmen in the Atlantic 10. So a guy's getting a lot of experience.
Do you look out there at one point and you're like, you got 4 freshmen playing, but you also have James Bishop playing? That's kind of helpful to have Bishop with your 4 freshmen.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. No, I think very often, early in the season here, you look out, man, we got a lot of young guys on the court. Even Max, who's only a sophomore, eligibility-wise. Benny didn't get a ton of experience at Oklahoma. Stretch didn't get a ton of experience at Auburn. So I keep saying it, but we are somewhat inexperienced. But thankfully, we have the mainstay in James Bishop, who's played in so many games and has so many experiences and such a good leader for our group.
You joked about it. The first game of the season, he scores 5 points, and you get the question post-game. Is he ever going to score again? Well, he's now averaging 21, and he's back in charge of the A-10.
Yeah, I'm not the smartest guy in town, but I do think it's important that he's got the ball some, and we let him play in middle pick and rolls and things like that. So the guy is just a terrific college player. His ability to create for himself and others is on such a high level, and he's such a quiet competitor, but it's so consistent every day in terms of his approach, and just really a fun guy to coach and be around.
You talk about his growth. Not only is he leading the league in scoring, he's leading the league in assists.
Yeah.
So he's got the ability to play around him and people have to play off him. Yeah.
True point guard. I think a guy needs to be evaluated as such at the next level where I think he can play. And, just doing a heck of a job.
Yeah, you can't stop him on his patented little layup flips that he's got going time and time again. Off the court, you mentioned you got outside once. Do you have fun off the court?
Yeah, I think everybody had a great time. The families had a great time. Great to be in a tropical location and a place like Baja Mar where, so many different pools, the beach, restaurants, things like that. I thought our guys had a great time and they were able to get some good bonding in.
Absolutely. Now you get to come home for the entire month of December. And we're going to talk about that more when we come back here on Race High at GW. We've got a tailgate, which was one of your favorite events last year.
Awesome.
That's coming up on Tuesday. We're going to talk more about that and the homestand here coming up in the month of December. That's next on Race High at GW.
Security. It's something we all want. Something we need to feel safe. It's everywhere we go. It's in everything we do. But the idea of safety can be overwhelming. How do you secure what you can't see? How do you secure your future? For 80 years, WAEPA's group term life insurance has helped provide financial safety, security, and peace of mind to current and former civilian federal employees. To learn more, visit WAEPA.org.
Welcome back to Race High at GW here with Coach Caputo. And Coach, last year John Rothstein said that the tailgate was like Times Square on New Year's Eve, and we get to do it again on Tuesday when you guys have Navy. That's one of your favorite events.
It's incredible. I couldn't believe it. I take a nap before every game, like on the couch in my office, which obviously overlooks 22nd where the tailgate was going, and I really didn't get a good nap before the South Carolina game. It was just too loud. Everybody was having a great time. I was able to walk out and see people before the game, and man, what an environment! What an opportunity to celebrate GW and get everybody together. And it's cold out there, but it's a lot of fun.
And you've talked about getting the student body engaged. You've seen it so far this season, and now this is another big opportunity to bring everybody together.
Yeah, we want to break every student attendance record we can find this year, right? Yeah. So we're close on a few, and I want to do it for the year. And this is obviously an opportunity to go have fun, in the street, and then come have fun in Smith right after.
That'd be great. Tuesday, 7 o'clock, Navy, right here on Monumental Sports Network. I want to switch gears a little bit. Talk about the importance of your staff. You've seen a couple features recently when, Garrett's been featured with your director of recruiting, Matt Colpoys. He does a lot more than just recruiting, but sort of putting your staff together when you bring in Handy, a strength coach from George Mason. What was sort of the emphasis in terms of bringing him in, and a guy like that can change the program?
Well, I had so much confidence in Handy's abilities from our time at George Mason. He's the same guy every day. He hasn't changed. High energy. Coach L used to call him like an Energizer bunny, and I think that's right. But I think the first step to physical toughness is physical fitness. And I think the ability to be in great shape as a group, as a program, is something that's very, very important. A hallmark of what we want to be able to do here. And it's not just the weight room, but it's it's how you condition, it's how you eat, it's how you sleep, it's how you hydrate. Obviously, the training room as well, and being proactive there. So for us, I think Handy's been a tremendous value add in terms of, physically how our guys look and feel, and the confidence they're able to play with, being in great shape.
And you mentioned the familiarity. So he is in his first season, but you bring the whole
staff
back.
He didn't have to move or anything, yeah.
And he's familiar with you and what you're looking for.
Yeah, we obviously I've known him over 20 years, and he's lifted me a number of times, so he knows my weight room routine.
I'll say he's got the staff in the weight room working
staff's
more
in there all the time, yeah.
But some of the other members on your staff, Matt Colpoys, Director of Recruiting is his official title, but he does a lot more than just that.
Yeah, I think, for me, Matt, I lost Eric Rubenstein very quickly to the Memphis Grizzlies, who was with us at Miami, who's a brilliant guy. I was looking for another smart guy, and Matt obviously fits the bill there. He was at Johns Hopkins as an assistant coach, a brief time at Iowa State. But I think with the staff, it's real simple. You can screw up a lot of things, but you can't screw up the staff. And yet, if you get the staff right, you can screw up a lot of things, and no one will know because those guys do such a great job. And my group is, I think, amongst the best anywhere, to be honest, in the country. I think we've got diversity of experience. We got guys that have played, even in this league. In Dwayne Lee's case, has played in the league. So I feel really good about our group and how we work together. And again, I've got a lot of guys with a lot of good experience that help me tremendously.
And a stress test is taking the entire team international for a week. Like a guy Cooper Handelsman, your director of operations, he's the guy that puts everything together. And
Yeah,
has to put
I mean, we travel with our family, and there's 4 of us, and we think it's like a big undertaking, and Cooper's bringing 50 people to the Bahamas and feeding them and all this stuff. So it's, I know he's probably taking a sigh of relief this week after the trip went well, and everybody came back with their passports and everything like that.
And you talk when you get to the Bahamas, you said 3 games in 3 days. You're focusing on Ohio, but then your staff is the one that really gets you through the rest of the week.
Yeah, they know everything about the other opponents, so you know, I can't really move that far ahead. I'm just thinking about the first game, but those guys have everything ready. In fact, you know, we play 7 o'clock, the game goes double overtime, it's 9:30 or 10 o'clock, whatever time it was, and then, you know, the staff stayed in there until 1, 2 in the morning working on UIC.
It's kind of crazy. Inside basketball, there's a lot going on besides what you see on the court. Last thing for you, a couple games left here before conference play gets going. Looking for something in December. What are you looking at?
Well, I mean, I think, again, we want to protect our home court, want to continue to grow and get better. You know, we have to have a certain amount of stuff in and be good at those things leading into conference play, and also maybe add some things that we're not going to show until conference play as well.
100%. Well, bunch of home games coming up here in December, and we'll talk to you again in a couple weeks.
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin.
All right, coming up next, Caroline McCombs from the women's basketball program joins us here on Raise High at GW.
Gas prices got you fuming? No need to get heated. Save time and money with Metro. Ride, save, explore. Metro.
We're back in Foggy Bottom on Raise High at GW, joined now by Caroline McCombs, the women's basketball coach here at GW. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. How was Puerto Rico? I know the results weren't what you were looking for, but an opportunity for your team to get together for a week and play some games against some quality opponents.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anytime you can step out on the floor and compete, you're going to get better in one way or another, and I think we just have to take the games that we played and learn from them. Obviously, it wasn't the outcome that we wanted. We had some younger players, some different players playing, different rotations, so trying to figure out all those things, and it's a good time for that to happen in November as we want to be our best, you know, in conference season. Yeah,
you're only halfway through non-conference play. It's early, but that is the benefit, right? It may not be a hidden benefit, but long term that could be really beneficial for you come February, March to get some experience like that.
Definitely. I think, you know, with some players being out, it gave other players new opportunities to get on the court that might not have. And so for us, how can we get better? How can we gain more depth? And the only way you get that is by having an opportunity to get in the game and really play. And so I think we were able to do that. Again, it wasn't as pretty as we wanted, but, you know, we'll learn from that experience.
What were some of the positives you take? You're playing an NCAA tournament team last year in West Virginia to start. You played rather good defense against them, and then same thing on the last game against Charlotte. Were there some positives on the defensive end, perhaps, that you like to take away from that?
Yeah, I mean, our West Virginia game was right down to the wire. Mm-hmm. We really had an opportunity to win. Just, you know, it's every possession matters. You know, we're down 1 and we don't get a great look at the basket, but how many other little possessions were there where we could have opportunities to get up? Mm-hmm. And so just really looking at that, I think that was a huge stepping stone and growth for us. And then, yeah, I think, you know, Southern Illinois and Charlotte, both good teams. I would consider them, you know, opponents that will play in the A10. So just looking at those and so some of those little things, ways we can improve. Our defense was solid. We didn't put the ball in the basket, so we're really working on that right now.
Yeah, and you're talking about building that depth. You've got, you know, 8 different players have started. You've got 10 players playing double-digit minutes. Now, granted, some of that is due to injuries, but you're building that depth, and you've always liked to play a good amount of people during the game. So what can you say about the depth that this team has with the ability to come to fruition perhaps in conference play? Yeah,
definitely. I think it's still growing. We just have new players that are getting those experiences. You know, Sarah Lewis, Kamari Sims, Madison Buford, you know, some of those, Monica Marsh at the wing and guard positions for us. I think they're just learning, they're growing, they got opportunities to play, and then you really break down that film and show them, and I think that's where they're going to learn the most.
And one of those newcomers, not new to the game, but new to the team, Marin Durant, she's kind of been what you were looking for, right? High field goal percentage, true paint presence. She's really kind of solidified down low for you.
Yeah, Marin's been terrific. She's shooting at such a high rate around the basket, just trying to find her more opportunities, for those easy points. She runs the floor so well. She defends at a high level. So, she's somebody that we're looking for inside to continue to make that presence for us.
And, we had her on the last show, but we're going to talk about Maiwa almost every time because she's the focal point for most teams when you're playing. She's closing in on potentially being just the third player at GW to ever have 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. We're talking about some of the names that didn't get there, but she has the ability to get there, which would be a really special accomplishment for her.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we really saw her come to life in the West Virginia game, and that spark came on. She's been battling some injuries, so to have her back and healthy and just looking like herself now. Those first couple games, she was kind of playing her way through some things, but really that West Virginia game, that light bulb came on again, and so we've been able to see the Maiwa that everybody's so used to. So I think with that, she'll continue to put the ball in the basket at a higher rate and also continue to be relentless on the glass.
Do you get that sense of relief? It's like, okay, Maiwa's back. We're good.
Yeah, it was big, just not having her at full strength. And when we always have had her, you just, you hope that she can get back to where she was, and now she's here.
Yeah, and let's talk about your non-conference as a whole because you're playing some unique road games. You're going to Manhattan, Maryland, Eastern Shore, go to Towson this week, plus play a tough tournament, 3 games in 3 days. What was the thinking behind the approach of the non-conference for scheduling for this specific team?
Yeah, I think that obviously getting ready for the conference tournament, A10 play. I think that, whether you play home, play away, you have to have both of those experiences. I think we learned a lot from this past weekend and just how to take care of ourselves, even at a higher level, right? You really feel it in that third game, that everybody's doing the same thing. So you can't feel sorry for yourself. You have to really just be the aggressor in that moment. And so, I think we get to go to Towson. That'll be a great matchup. And then just as we finish out December, it'll be nice to be at home.
Yeah, get some home games, get some momentum going here for conference play. And I know you want to go see some great places like Puerto Rico, but playing at home at Smith is always a benefit for the team.
Absolutely. Just being in our own beds. We'll have final exams. We'll have all of those things during this month. And I think it's just another opportunity to prepare and practice. And I think that'll be really important right now.
And it also gives another opportunity for a rather unique thing that you guys do. It's called the guest coach of the game, where you get to bring in somebody from outside the program. Tell us a little bit more about that and what started that and some of the folks you've brought into the team to help them out.
Yeah, well, so far this year we've welcomed Michelle Rubin, we've welcomed Heather Mitchell, just both 2 really important women here for the university and our program. And so they get to kind of see our players prepare and learn what that looks like for them, whether that's coming to shoot around. Heather was able to come out to dinner with us at Manhattan, so that was kind of nice, and just kind of connect with our players and staff a little bit more. We want them to feel a part of everything that we're doing and really see what our players go through. And so we have some more exciting people coming up throughout the season. I'm looking forward to getting President Granberg here as well, so it should be fun for the rest of the year.
Stay tuned. A lot more to come. And, Coach, we appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, back to men's basketball. And Babatunde Akingbola, Stretch, is next.
Raise high. This isn't just our battle cry. It's our call, our challenge. Because when you were called to Washington, you were called to higher expectations, to a higher standard. We are called here to advance knowledge, to serve society, to change the world. This is the George Washington University, and what we make is history. So stand up, be bold, take risks, press on, push harder, raise high.
Wrapping it up here on Raise High at GW, joined now by the center for the GW men's basketball team, Babatunde Akingbola, also known as Stretch, if you can't get the name. But how you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Thanks for joining us. We're doing great.
Yes,
and,
sir.
your journey is very impressive. Coming from Nigeria, you went to Auburn for 4 years. Now you're here at GW. Talk us about the beginning, how you got into basketball, and then the process of coming from Nigeria to the U.S. to play basketball.
Funny enough, I don't even like sports at all. I was supposed to become a doctor, coming from my mom. So a coach in Nigeria saw me, saw the talent, saw what I can be, and it just started working me out. I run away from him a couple of times, but God always pushed me to him, I guess. So here I am.
And you go to Georgia, go to a basketball private academy in Georgia, go to high school, and then you go to Auburn. So you find out that you do have basketball talent at the top level. So take us through that process of coming to the U.S. by yourself, your whole family's still back in Africa, and what it was like having to go to Auburn.
It was tough because I left Nigeria when I was 14 years old, and I thought it was going to be like, I forgot the movie. It was a movie I was watching at the time. America is so fun and it's just great. I thought it was going to be like that, but funny enough, it wasn't, because after the first 2 weeks, it was tough for me. The weather, I couldn't eat the food, everything was just different. So funny enough, I got sick after 2 weeks, and I was crying. I said, I want to go back home. But my mom told me, look, this is what you got to do. There's a reason why you're there and stuff like that. And my mom is a Christian. She believed in God, and she believed in what the future holds. So, but yeah.
And then you go to Auburn, and you're playing behind NBA guys. But you talk about how there's an adjustment. Nobody probably can pronounce your name.
Yeah.
So you get Stretch. Where does that come from?
My first year, I was playing with this New York guys, and they just couldn't say my name, and they started to call me Stretch. I said, Stretch? He said, because you're so long and skinny, you just stretchy. I was like, okay, cool. I will stay with that, and it sounded cool at the time. So I guess, and everybody just started calling me Stretch. So I kind of like it now, though. So.
Yeah, you're okay with it now?
Oh, I love it, yeah.
But Babatunde has some meaning for you back home.
Oh, yeah. Babatunde means father returns, because I was giving birth when my grandfather died, a week after. So they believe he came back, and they said I look just like him, and I got the eye from him. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. On the court, you go to Auburn, you're playing behind a bunch of first-round picks.
Yes, sir.
But you said they believed in you, so you believed in them, and you felt the right to get the degree, which is a big thing for your mom.
Yes, sir.
And then you decided to come to GW. Take us through the process of transferring here and the opportunity that Coach Caputo decided to give you.
You know what? When I put my name in the transfer portal, there was a lot of schools that reached out, but Coach Caputo believed in me. That's the biggest thing. If you believe in somebody, that you can do anything. You know what I mean? Other schools reached out, but they wasn't giving me that. Let's came in. Look, I know what you can do. I know you wasn't playing last year, but I believe what you've been doing and what you would, give to this team. And when I saw that, I said, I don't like taking visits. I'm good. I'm not the type of guy I would cut it short to 3 schools and 2 schools. When I like something, I stick with it. That's why I was. People ask me, why don't you leave Auburn? You wasn't playing. I said, because Auburn did something for me, and I believe when people do good to you, you can't give it back bad. So that's the type of person I am. I'm loyal to you. I will stay that way. So.
And GW fans are happy that you're loyal to us on the court.
I'm grateful, man.
Yeah. And let's talk about the start to the season, because you're blocking shots left and right. You had a possession with 2 blocks and a steal on the same possession. You got a kill on 1 possession. But the defensive ability that you have, where does that come from, and what joy do you have when you're able to swat a guy's shot out of bounds?
It's the will and the love for the game. A lot of people don't like to play defense because you don't show on the cheat on the stat sheet. I'm not putting up points or whatever. I don't care, man. I love to play defense. I enjoy doing this thing. This is what I love to do. When I have a stop in my head, I feel like I just dunk on you. That's the feeling you get from dunking on people. That's the feeling I get from blocking a shot.
Never know.
But yeah, that's what I love to do, and I'm glad I can show people and they can say it, and I'm glad to be here.
We're very proud to have you. And
Yes,
Stretch,
sir.
we got plenty of opportunities to talk with you. As you said, whenever you block a shot, I'm here, right?
Yes, sir.
You enjoy it. Well, we're going to see more blocks, and we appreciate you stopping by, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Appreciate
All right,
that.
that's going to do it for this episode of Raise High at GW. For Babatunde Akingbola, for Coach Caputo and Coach McCombs, I'm Kevin Burke saying so long from Foggy Bottom. We'll talk to you next time.
Security. It's something we all want. Something we need to feel safe. It's everywhere we go. It's in everything we do. But the idea of safety can be overwhelming. How do you secure what you can't see? How do you secure your future? For 80 years, WAEPA's group term life insurance has helped provide financial safety, security, and peace of mind to current and former civilian federal employees. To learn more, visit WAEPA.org.
Make your trip monumental. Sightsee through DC without overspending on gas and ride shares. Experience DC the local way. Ride, save, explore. Metro.